Hello, my beautiful souls. My name is Kira, and welcome to this tarot reading. If you feel called to stay, then please do take what resonates and leave the rest for somebody else. I'm gonna shuffle the cards on screen. We're gonna pull them, so if you're like, I don't really want to watch that, you can be like, oh, I skipped forward to the reading part. That's so cool. But first, before we begin, I need to get my Dunkin' Sips in. This is a unsweetened iced tea. This is my mom's favorite order, so I'm having it today in honor of my mother. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna pull for your current energy. So if it resonates, great. I hope so. These are the archetype cards I have. Alright, so, and my bird will be squawking in the background. There's probably gonna be some mowing sounds as well, so you're in for a treat. In for a treat. Thank you, Spirit. Let's see. I'm seeing swans. That was weird. Okay. Slave. Alright. I don't know how to feel about this card. That is what's coming out for you. It says, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. I'm not even really called to read the shadow. I think this is coming out really strongly as this light attribute for me. Being like, okay, I'm surrendering. That's beautiful energy. On the back of the deck, we have Judge. It says balancing justice and compassion, managing the fair distribution of power. I think this came out in the last reading, if I'm being quite honest. So maybe the last reading was resonating with you. All right. Let's get another archetype card. Another kind. These are beautiful, round cards that I love. I use them pretty much almost every reading that I do, whether it be for myself or for somebody else. They are super helpful and beautiful. Another card, Spirit. Show me. Ooh, the box. What were we talking about last time about coloring outside the lines? That's reminding me of that. The Orphan is coming out on the back. I'm also gonna get these astrology cards. They're called astro cards. We're gonna pull from a lot of different decks today because I like my things. I like my trinkets. I also have a whole bunch of new charms. I get so excited about shiny little things, and these were at a thrift store, and I almost died. I think it was one of the more exciting moments in my life to find little shiny charms. There's some really cool ones in there, and I hope you get some cool ones. All right, another card or two to describe the current energy. Oh, got flipped over. It's a sextile, chance and opportunity. We'll take it just like that. We also have Libra coming out on the back, the beautiful minded. Libra is an air sign. All right. I was thinking of doing this reading in layers, like sort of thinking as like an iceberg. So the top of the iceberg is what I will be pulling for now, and then maybe we'll do a more in-depth layer here. So we're gonna start with this layer. Lady, number 29. We also have, ooh, same one that came out last time, Tower, number 19. Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh, the song "You Get What You Give" by the New Radicals is playing in my head right now. All right, goddess cards. Yeah. We're getting the goddess cards out. Taking a sip of my Dunkin'. It is a beautiful day today. The sun is shining. And that's enough. That's enough for me. Just a little bit of wind. There's so many dandelions. So many dandelions. You know, in French, they're called pissenlits. And that means, I think, pee on the bed. So, that's cool. Alright, one of these cards. Spirit, thank you. Oh, we got two. We have Eagle Woman. I'll read from these in a little bit, but that is the card here. I'm shaking. I probably, oh, there's 3 cards actually. I don't know if I want all of them. We're gonna go with Kuan Yin. It's a Chinese goddess of infinite mercy and compassion. Beautiful. I don't know how I want to lay these out on the table. I'm gonna get a tarot card to clarify each each oracle. So this is why I say you can skip if you want. You can not listen to me ramble. Alright, these are the Celtic oracle cards. Yes, we're getting another Celtic oracle card. What is in store? Spirit, tell me. I am so nosy. We have the Fairy Hill, the Hidden World of Fairies. This is card number 45. I will read from the book for this one. They have some really good stories in there. I really like them. We also have, if I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Morgan, the Raven Goddess of Chaos. Wow, that's wild. Okay, one more. Last oracle we will get for you, besides the charms, is this. This is the Mary Magdalene oracle. This is a beautiful, beautiful deck. Give me one, please. Ooh. The Cave of Eggs. We exist in and with each other. Gorgeous. We also have the Skull. Love has already won. I love that saying. Love has already won. Alrighty. Now that we have all our oracle cards, we get to now pull from the tarot deck. And today's tarot deck is the 1987. This is a 1987 Thoth tarot deck, Aleister Crowley deck. It's beautiful. I also have the 1969 version, and it is lovely. It is the most special deck I own. So lovely. So, let's talk about this card, the Lady. I want to see what that means. What does that mean? Trust me, I know so much. Alright. No. Give me something about this lady here. Why? Oh, you want to come out. Which is the 8 of Swords. It says interference on this. Gorgeous art in this deck. I also want to get one for the slave card here. Which is the 10 of Wands. It says oppression at the bottom. Maybe it is a... Oh, sorry, I'm just thinking. All right, the box. Let's get a card for that. You get 2, which is the 10 of Cups and the Princess of Swords. So this is the 10 of Cups. Came out in reverse. I'm not going to take reversals today, just because I don't want to. Princess of Swords. Gorgeous deck. Gorgeous art on this card. Sextile. Queen of Wands. Oh, gorgeous. The Queen. Can I speak today? Thank you. The Cave of Eggs, which is the 9 of Cups. It says happiness. And for the Eagle Woman, it is the 5 of Wands. It says strife at the bottom. And why Kuan Yin? What is the message there? It is the 4 of Wands. A lot of fire energy coming up. You could be a fire sign, which is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. That Libra card came up, so that's also an air sign. So Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And so a card for the fairy card here, which is the 4 of Pentacles. Okay, this one wants to come out too, I think. The Moon. I'll show you those. This is the 4 of Pentacles. We also have the 4 of Wands. I'm trying to look. We have 2 10s. Yeah. Okay, and 2 4s. We also have the Moon. This is the gorgeous Moon card. Alrighty. On the back of the deck, we have the Prince of Wands. That's cool. Look at that. Gorgeous. Take a drink every time I say gorgeous. Or, I don't know. Take a sip of water. That's fun. Alrighty. Let's talk about this, guys. Oh, I wanted to do charms too. It's been 12 minutes of me just doing this. Alright. Okay, I'm gonna get a few charms to describe energy here. It's a handful. Alrighty. I'll take the bear as well, because that was coming out. Alrighty. So, the charms coming out. We have, wow, there's 2 the same. Okay, first we have, this is the symbol for Cancer. So that's a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So all of the signs are coming up right now. That's cool. We also have a heart button. Cool. 2 keys. Keys might be a sign for you. And we also have a bear made of red jasper. Gorgeous. Alrighty. This is a lot. I'm gonna take it in. I think I want to start with this Fairy Hill card. We're gonna do one at a time, sort of thing. We'll get into it. This number 45, I'm gonna read from the book. I think that's the first thing I want to do. Alrighty. The Fairy Hill, the hidden world of fairies. The fairies, the people of the goddess Danu, live as neighbors in the hills of the countryside, inhabiting the other world beneath the ground, where they live merry and carefree lives. Their supernatural presence brings lively, nostalgic, and passionate feelings to the landscape above, especially enlivening poetry, music, and song with haunting lyricism. If you choose this card, you are attracted to the otherworldly forces around you. These forces, whether fairies or nature spirits, are often special friends of poets, artists, playwrights, musicians, and inventive and creative individuals of every trade or profession. The presence of fairies and nature spirits gives the landscape around you wondrous qualities that attract you. I'm gonna stop there. think. Yes. So you might be a creative person. You might do art, music, poetry, writing. I'm getting strong writer energy, somebody who writes a lot. I'm also getting the image of like a journal. Maybe you have like you like a journal. You like to write in a journal. I'm seeing like lots and pages of just random, like, I don't know. That's what I'm seeing here. That's really cool. I do think that what's coming out here is this beautiful, that is a beautiful card, that creative spark, that ability to take in the world as you have valued it, which is a beautiful world, a space to enjoy and a space to cherish for yourself and for others. And I think with the moon coming out here with the Four of Pentacles, I think yeah, the otherworldly forces, this is giving, that's strong moon energy. That's something, the moon is all about things you can't see, things that are in the shadows. I love the moon card because it reminds me to like be okay with not knowing. It helps me take a step back and say, okay, like it's okay not to know or to think about this even. Like I've been thinking about how like overthinking in general just generally doesn't lead us in the direction we want to go, even if it is helping us reason with things. But I feel like there's a point of no return when it comes to thinking. And I think that's something you're realizing, that a part of what is helping you understand this intuitive feeling, emotive energy, the moon card, is being able to regulate your emotions, first of all, and also and your body, your physical body, and also like give yourself, it's like planting your ground, planting your feet in terms of what you believe in. I think a lot of what maybe previously okay, that's what I'm hearing. This is going to be reading about your spirituality. Wow, that's really cool. I'm really excited to talk about that. This is something maybe I'm hearing that you haven't quite articulated for yourself, or you're really starting to like plant your seeds, or your feet. I'm hearing feet on the ground when it comes to what you believe in otherworldly things. So that's really cool. Wow. Okay. Let's get into this. So I think the next thing I want to talk about are these archetype cards. We have the Slave card. It says, surrendering your power of choice to the divine with complete trust. And then the box, this 10 of Wands and the 10 of Cups. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. So I think what's happening here is that you, in this turning of energy where you're like, okay, I am grounding the fact that there are things beyond me that I can't quite reason with, that there are things that exist in this world and beyond, in the universe, in spirit, whatever you want to call it, that I just can't explain. And that is something that I struggle to let happen, because that also means that like there are a lot of things I can't control, like pretty much anything. And so being able to surrender your power of choice to the divine with complete trust, this is telling me that like in the past, I feel like something about making decisions was really like, it felt like it was so much of a burden to you. I feel like you were often placed in the role of decision maker, whether that be through your work position, or maybe it was in your family or friend circle, where you were the person to make decisions and make choices for the group, for what's best for people. And I think honestly this is it's sort of, it places power within you. It gives you some element of self-respect, like I can make this decision here, I can make choices that align with my beliefs, my values, etc. But it's a burden to have to know all the time, have to rely on myself all the time, and not know whether or not it's the right decision or it's the wrong decision. I never know. I feel like you have begun to release that idea that you have to know the choices or about the choices you're making. Instead of like thinking like, oh, I have to, reason with this choice before I even make it or act on it. I think you're realizing that part of making that choice has nothing to do with, first of all, rightness or wrongness. It's a matter of consequences or like action and their consequences, right? A choice and its consequences. But also that when you make a choice, when you act, let's say, the consequences are completely out of your control. And so I think what's been freeing about learning this energy, it's hard to explain. I do think that you're realizing that that the consequences part of the equation is something you can really just surrender to the divine, surrender to the universe, and know that what you're putting in, what you I'm getting excited, you get what you give. So part of what you're giving is the fact that you're also getting something in return. That's sort of a karmic balance we're talking about here. Actually, I have a book that has a message for each day, and today's message was about karma, and how things that we put out into the world often come back to us in a similar way, even 3 times. I think that's the threefold pattern that a lot of witches talk about. I don't know, I'm learning about it. I do think that it's complicated energy to be able to release control. It feels awkward. It feels strange. It feels a bit like what else am I supposed to be doing here with my time? Instead of what I'm hearing, is that it's like a helicopter. It's really I'm getting so many images. I'm getting the image of somebody curling, that sport, of really trying to I don't know anything about that sport. But the brooms, I don't know, that part, you're just trying to make sure it's perfect so that it may slide into place exactly where you want it. I think releasing that control is taking away those brooms. If that makes sense. Someone's gonna hate this for me. Okay. I'm not gonna talk about curling anymore. I don't want to talk about curling spirit. I think that you're that, what is it called? Starts with an M. That's micromanaging. That's the word. I feel like that was something you may have struggled with, is that micromanaging to the point where you're trying to make, it's not because you want it to go, I'm hearing it's not because you wanted it to go in the way you wanted. I think maybe you've been in roles in which you had to make decisions for other people or other groups or an entire group. And so not micromanaging, it puts a lot of pressure on you to do the right thing. And so that's really hard to be able to release that when you are in roles that expect such high, they have such high expectations of you being able to make decisions. And so I'm not trying to spook you anymore, but I want to say that I think Spirit's incredibly proud of you to be able to release that unnecessary time and effort. I think it's actually given you, if it's not given you actual time to spend on other things, it may feel just more like a space in your brain or in your body. Just you're able to feel a little bit more free. I think that is something that's really cool, and I'm happy to hear that. I think that's really aligned with how you're discovering your spiritual side. And so let's talk about that. I think with the box here, I think, yeah, it's almost like by really managing things exactly the way you want them, or how other people want them, it's restrictive. It's very tense energy. It's very like there's not a lot of room to grow, or not a lot of room to expand and make mistakes, really, because making trial and error is how you grow things. It's you have to like make a change and then test yourself for it, right? So you're like expanding and you're falling and then you're getting back up again, sort of thing. But this energy, it's very like, there's a lot of like lines that are very close together, and it just feels really tight. And I think in this box, it's like almost like a treasure. Like I'm literally like a box, like something that's locked up. And the fact that 2 keys are coming out tells me that you keep this box quite secure. It is something that is quite tender, and quite I don't want to cry, but I might. I feel like I might. I think your dreams, your life that you envisioned for yourself, this 10 of Cups, that's exactly, it's emotional fulfillment. It is the cycle complete. It is feeling like your heart is filled to the brim with love and acceptance, and full of relationships and divinely orchestrated connections as well, like a family. Like even if it's a found family, this is what that card is. And I think it's so beautiful. I think this is something you keep so dear to yourself, that it is so protected for you. And I think you've needed to do that because there was so much energy being directed at you, or that you had to direct yourself, that you couldn't even like if you open that box, it almost would just like bleed into every other aspect of your life, and it would just feel like all of who you are would be out in the open. And it just felt, it's not like you wanted to be emotionally closed off to others. It's more just like, if I share all of this with everybody, like what does that mean? Like I just feel like overwhelmed by that. And I think the fact that you're able to, like, you have this key here, you have 2 keys, I think you're really starting to confront this box and how it's serving you or how it's not serving you, how like your dreams, your visions, your acceptance, loving energies, this water energy ultimately, like this Cancer, this is the sign of home and family, love. So definitely I feel like that emotional side of you, let's say, has been highly protected for a very long time for good reason. And I think Spirit wants to call out that you had to choose to do that because you ultimately were trying to learn how to balance your time and energy with other people, or like work, or like things that you had responsibilities in. And so I think now that you're giving yourself a little more space here to access this box, right? I think you're like, what do I do with it? Because I know it's in here and it's very special to me. And I don't know how to like repurpose it, almost like like let it be used in some way, like in a good way, like so that you're like actually engaging with that energy rather than it just sitting in a box somewhere, you know. Obviously this is like kind of metaphorical, but maybe you do have a sentimental like box of things that really mean a lot to you. And maybe I like with that writing, I feel like there's maybe you're a person who likes to collect sentimental things from your life, from your past, from people you love. That's really cool. So there's this opportunity in your life. I think while this, it's almost been like in conjunction with this, I don't know, healing work you've been doing. Something you've wanted, an opportunity that you've wanted to take. This Queen of Wands to me is representing something you're very passionate about. It could be an opportunity, a project, it could be a person, it could be love. It could also be, it could be that 10 of Cups. It's really like following your dreams, right? Following your vision. An opportunity to live out that 10 of Cups, right? So it's like, all right, so if I want this opportunity, I have to like unlock the box, right? That's what the energy I'm reading here. I think, yeah, let's read here. I think I wanted to go to these goddess cards. The Eagle Woman shows a new marriage of the feminine and the eagle. She represents all an eagle stands for: spirit, valor, majesty, renewal, accuracy of sight, spiritual aim. So I'm hearing like ascension, a spiritual awakening. Maybe you have, ooh, wow. Yeah, that 5 of Wands tells me this has been something you, this is sometimes a card of competition, but it says strife at the bottom. I'm getting more that this has been just a really, it's been hard. Like it's like hard to work through. It's a lot of like challenge, like a lot of challenges, a lot of like tests. I feel like maybe you felt like you've been tested multiple times regarding this box energy, okay? It's giving the energy of somebody who is really dedicated towards finding a way to get this opportunity going, but that it's hard to keep going. Sometimes it's really challenging. I think that's the message there. I do think that with this 4 of Wands, it says completion. Okay, infinite mercy and compassion. Wow. But I do think there's something working for you here, which is compassion. I think you've realized that through letting go, surrendering control in many ways, it gives you a peaceful feeling. It gives you the ability to listen to yourself, to feel your feelings. It gives you the ability to be compassionate towards yourself. Maybe this is something you've just not had the chance to do quite fully as you have now. I think something about this really flowing, kind, gentle energy with yourself has really moved. It's really like, I'm hearing that it's like shifted your energy completely. Like it just feels like something here is like changed for you because you were able to like give yourself some grace. And I think that's where I'm like, I feel like this 9 of Cups, this is an energy of filling your own cup, of being able to give yourself some kindness, some self-care. We exist in and with each other. I think you were able to go inside and say, I care about you, little one, little inner child, you. I see you. I see what you have gone through. Maybe it has been painful. Maybe it has been really painful. But to be able to give yourself that love, maybe for one of the first times, it's It is so gorgeous. It's such a take a drink. It's so gorgeous energy. I'm like sort of like buzzing. I'm trying, like I'm speaking like on the high end of my voice because I'm just kind of overwhelmed by it a little bit. It is beautiful energy. It is somebody who, it's like, thank goodness. I'm hearing like, thank goodness I am able to do this because I have needed it for so long. I have needed it for so long. And I have needed to love myself and respect myself. And it's honestly, I think, been a huge gift for you. That you've given to yourself. And I'm probably more emotional just because I know I've been there. I've had that moment of like saying, well, like, of course I'm here. Of course I'm making the decisions I'm making based on what I've gone through. The shit I've gone through. The pain. All the pain. The pain follows me around like an elephant in the room. And to be able to embrace it and say, like, I see you. You're allowed to be here. And you don't have to rule my life like I've had to have you do. I think that's the key to living. It's the key to living a life that's balanced, that's at peace with yourself, that's at peace with the world. And really, it's as simple as that. Because how on earth can you live a good life if you don't love yourself first? And it starts with that inner child. It starts with that little one that you are, ultimately, always. It's being able to look at yourself and say, like, oh, wow, I do see the world the way I want to see it. It's gorgeous. And I just am kind of speechless by it. And I'm really proud of you for being able to do that for yourself. Because it's like the crux of life. It's the core. It's great. Yeah. I don't even know if do I do a deeper iceberg? Yeah, maybe let's get like another card here. Well, actually, let's go into the back of the deck energy. I do. Yeah, that orphan card. Let's look at that. I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. It's letting yourself, I'm hearing like maybe as a child you experienced isolation, or really not like physical isolation, but just like feeling quite isolated in your own body, feeling like on the outs a lot of the time, not because you like were unliked maybe, but because I think you just felt so much more than what people were saying and expressing. And it's like, wow, I maybe you cried a lot as a kid, maybe you experienced a lot of emotion as a child, and and I think being able to look back on that and say, like, wow, like there's nothing wrong with that. There isn't. You're able to like give yourself that compassion, to know that like ultimately that wasn't anything wrong, that you were just experiencing the world the way you were meant to experience it, and that maybe the world is overwhelming a lot of the time, and that you feel things quite deeply, and being able to see the world through rose-colored glasses, quote unquote, it's hard. It is hard, actually, because a lot of people think it is a separate way of, a mistaken way of seeing the world. But the world is beautiful. It is full of horror and pain. We both sure as hell know it. But being able to like not fall victim to it, that's what's really painful, to have to like give yourself that compassion. Like, okay, like it's hard to look back on the past when the past has been filled with a lot of pain. But I can tell you now that your pain is valued. It is not necessarily anything necessary. None of the pain we experience is necessary. There's no reason for it either. It wasn't destiny. But we can make meaning out of it, whether it starts with it or doesn't. We can do so many things with our pain that may freak other people out because we may be weird about it. We may make really dark jokes about it, but maybe that's the way we cope. And I think you're realizing that the way you want to cope with pain, with hard emotions, with this box, all right? I think now you understand that you are the owner of that box and that no one else gets to open it, but also that like you being able to open it, that is sacred, that is beautiful, it is worth opening, it is worth experiencing. Because when you open that box, when you open your heart to experiences that lead you towards that 10 of Cups, to emotional fulfillment, you are honoring the child who dreamt of it this whole time. Keep going. I really appreciate what you're doing. It is alchemizing. It is the work of an alchemist. So be proud of yourself. All right, I'm kind of left a little speechless, so I may make a second part to this another time, but I hope that covered some ground for you. If it's very specific, highly specific, so again, take only what resonates for you. All right, so see you later. I love you. Bye.